Do you know what's crazy? I used to be really good at budgeting and saving my money. I was always able to put money in my savings and spend normally within the month. But recently, in the past couple of months, I don't know what's happened, but every time I get to the end of the month, I find myself to spend way more than what I budgeted. This is my Excel sheet right now. You'll be able to see it in front of you. And you can see I'm meant to be saving a decent amount every single month. But every time I get to the end of the month, I just overspend. Now with the recent climate, it's completely understandable how I'm actually spending a bit more. We've got everything going up in price and it's just getting crazy. But I still find myself looking at my spreadsheet and I'm just like, where the hell's my money going? So I thought to myself, you know what? I need a way to constantly look at my budget and see how much I've got left over for the month. I didn't want to use Excel because I wanted to be able to check on it on my phone as I go about my day. So I went on the App Store, I looked up some finance and budgeting tools and I downloaded random ones to see if I can actually use it and if it can actually help my situation out. Turns out a lot of them are really bad. Like you can add your bank and then you can add your transactions so you can see everything. But once you actually want to do something, once you want to budget it, bam, paywall. Which is crazy to me because you're literally making me add my bank details, and when I actually want to budget something, when I'm just there, you put a paywall in front of me. You're just basically edging me. It's the stupidest thing I've seen in my life. So I thought to myself, duh, you're a developer, you're a programmer, you can just make an app. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly what this video is going to show you. Me designing, making the app, and the final solution. Step one, figure out what framework we're going to use. How are we going to do it? Are we going to develop it natively or are we going to do it cross-platform? Quick note for the viewers that don't actually know. Developing it cross-platform means you program it once and it can be used for Android and it can be used for iOS. Programming it natively means you're just programming it for either Android fully or iPhone fully. Just a quick hint. Now, there's a lot of debate online between Flutter, React Native, which is better, this and that. So after looking online, looking at different research, debates, making my SWOT analysis, I found a way to decide which is the best framework for me to use. All right, we're gonna do a little heads or tails. So heads for Flutter and tails for React Native, okay? Tails, React Native, let's go. And that's basically how I decided to pick React Native. Once the framework was picked, it was design time. I looked online, found different little inspirations. I went on dribble.com. I highly recommend it to people out there. Some really, really cool designs. Went on Dribbble, went on Figma community, checked that out as well, and made my own kind of design that I was personally happy with. Now, once I actually got design all sorted out, it actually came down to programming, designing how I'm gonna do this, the architecture behind everything. That really came down to two things. One, what payment system am I gonna use? And number two, what database am I going to use? Now, what I mean by payment is just my way of actually just saying the financial SDK that I'm going to use. Basically, what's going to allow me to get the bank information and the transaction details. For that, I ended up using Plaid. Main reason, it's the most popular one, most established one, and it's used on different apps as well. So I went with Plaid. Little did I know I was in for hell. Now, I'm not saying Plaid is a bad tool to use. It's not really made for using React Native with Expo, which is what I was using and what is actually recommended in the actual docs when creating a React Native app. It says, we recommend you guys use Expo, and Plaid does not go well with Expo. The reason I say that is because the Plaid SDK was just not having a good time with the Expo and React Native, and it just called a whole shit show. But me being the genius I am, I figured a way around it. The main issue I was having was with integrating, linking your bank details with the Plaid API. Basically, Plaid provides you with this thing called Plaid Link, and you click on it and then you're able to actually add your bank account. Problem is, that wasn't working with React Native. The genius solution I had for that was, I provided a Plaid link from my backend, which is just a link that can be used in any browser, and I spun up a web view on React Native and slapped that link in there, and ta-da! We had a Plaid link and you can add your bank details with no problem. Genius. Now, once that was working, it was just ease breathe from there. I created the Plaid webhook, and for the backend, I just used Supabase. I've used it before. It's very, very easy to set up, especially with React Native. Now, those of you that actually want to get a bit more detail about how I made this, I've added the source code down below. All you need is just a Plaid API key. You can also get a Sandbox API key, get a Supabase link, not a Supabase link, a Supabase project. Make a Supabase project, use those API keys as well, and then everything should work normally for you. And now, the moment of truth, the app. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't have my phone to show you it because I'm actually using my phone to record, but I've got it actually on an iPhone simulator, so you guys can actually see what I'm seeing as well. So I'll have it on the screen just now. Now, as you can see, I've got a basic login screen. Ignore the login screen, it's just a basic design, just so I can log into the actual accounts, okay? And here we are. A basic screen, yes, there's no pots, there's no transactions, there's nothing because this is a new account, there's no cards added or anything like that. So I'm gonna show you guys how this app works and I'll take you through it. Now, let's say you want to see your transactions. You need a bank account first. So first, let's add a bank account. You click add card. And then when you click add card, it'll load up the web view. It'll load up the played link that I actually made. From there, you just click continue. You can pick your own bank. I'm going to pick Lloyd's because I've got a Lloyd's bank account. Lloyd's, there you go. And then you can pick whichever one. I'm going to pick a personal. I've got a personal account. I'll click continue to log in. Now keep in mind, this is a sandbox right now. So this is all fake data, but imagine this being your actual data because I'm not going to show you my actual bank account. Now this will resemble you using the Lloyd's authentication. So I'm just going to click sign in because this is just all mock data. I will select my played current account. I'll scroll to the bottom, connect account information. I'll let it load. And then now it's going to show me saying that it's been successfully added. Give it a sec. Yeah, there you go. And then that's it. You wait a couple seconds and then bam, you've got everything there. You can see I've got my Lloyd's card right here and I've got, ignore this weird error here. This is just, it's not an error. This is a warning, by the way. For anyone thinking there's an error, that's not an error. This is how Expo shows you warnings. It's very, very annoying and I don't know how to turn it off. If anyone knows, please let me know. Anyway, so you've got your bank. You can see here, I can just move this around and I've got transactions here. I've got transactions for the current month. I only want the current month or in the past. So I can see here, I've got random ones. This is just all mock data generated by Played. So I don't know what hard this stuff is. I think it's mainly UK though. Now you're probably thinking, hey, how do I add a savings pot? I want to add a pot and let's say I want to call it shopping. I want to say I want to spend £300 on shopping a month. And in that £300 shopping, I can add transactions that are to do with shopping so I can see the number go down and I can see how much I'm actually working with. So let's get to that. So all you gotta do is literally click add pot. You'll have this nice little motor pop up. You'll pick what it is. I'm gonna say shopping and I'm gonna say the pot amount is, I don't know, £300. I can pick the color. I'm gonna go with orange. I'm gonna click add pot and then bam, we've got a new pot. Now, how do I add transactions into the pot? Easy peasy. You pick a transaction. So let's say I want to pick H&M. H&M is part of my shopping. I hold down H&M and I can select the pot. I select the shopping one. I click add to pot and there you go. You can see that the pot has been reduced. So now it's 249 compared to the 300 that it was before. Now, how do we know what transactions have been made in the actual savings pot? No worries. You just click on the pot like this and then bam, you can see, okay, the transactions for shopping are H&M. Now, if I want to remove the transaction, simple, you just click X, removes it, I click close, and it's even been removed from here. And that's kind of how you add and remove transactions. Now, one of the key features of this app that I really, really like is the ability to add multiple bank accounts and actually view everything all together and add them all to saving pots as you please, willy-nilly. So let's add another bank account. Click add card again. Now I'm gonna go for an HSBC account, okay? And then bam, look at that. I've got my HSBC here and I've got my Lloyd's here as you can see, and HSBC's got its own bank transactions. It's very similar to the Lloyd's one. It's just similar data. I don't know why Played has done this. If you just add multiple bank accounts, they'll have the same data. But I assure you these are different transactions. Now you can do the same thing. You can add transactions to the actual pots. So let's say I want to add Nando's. I'll hold Nando's, add it to the shopping pot, and then I'll go back to Lloyd's here, wait for the Lloyd transactions to load up. And then if I want to pick, let's say I want to pick HelloFresh. Hold HelloFresh, click on shopping, add to pot. It's been updated. Now if I click on shopping, you can see I've got Nando's and I've got HelloFresh. Now if I click close, I can see the HelloFresh here. And if I go to HSBC and I scroll down, I can see the Nando's. And that's just showing that it works on different bank accounts. And I can even filter them all. So if I can go and click all, give it a couple seconds, it loads all transactions from both the Lloyd's card and the HSBC card. Because if I scroll down right now, we'll be able to see the Nando's. So the Nando's from the Lloyd's. And if we scroll down even more, we can see the HelloFresh from the HSBC. And that's the basic gist of the app. Now this can be very powerful. You can actually add a lot of different bank accounts to this. You can add loads of different pots and it really, really improves your savings. And that's basically the app. Now, I'll keep it real with you guys. I'm actually really proud of this app. I've never actually made a React Native app. I just kind of went in it blindly and you'll be really surprised with the power of AI. If you can program, I promise you, there's a lot you can make that you don't realize you can. Like the only pain point of actually programming this was literally just trying to deal with the Played API. Everything else was kind of like a piece of cake. I'm not gonna lie. Well, for me at least. Now, I've got a funny little story for you guys. So I was actually gonna try to publish this, right? And then I had two shocking revelations happen to me. One, I didn't realize how expensive it is to publish something into the App Store. I've actually got my live reaction right now of me finding out how much it costs to upload something in the App Store. It's still $100? Bro, I'm making a savings app to save money. I have to spend $100 to actually use and make my app. So after a while, after I actually calmed down and just fully took in the realization that Apple are really trying to thief me right now, I took a deep breath and told myself, okay, you know what? This is a one-time investment, it's fine. Now the second revelation that completely shattered my dream was finding out about the production key for the Plaid API. Now remember when I told you guys I was using the sandbox data to actually show the bank details, transactions and everything? It was all dummy data. Now Plaid actually give you that as to play around data, and essentially when your app is ready, you can just request a production key and then you can just swap it out and then you can actually use real data. Here's what happened when I tried to get the Plaid API key for production. Wait, why can't I do the pay-as-you-go? I can only do the custom payment, but I want to do pay-as-you-go. Wait. So if you're based in England, you can't use a pay-as-you-go or the growth. You have to do the custom one. That bullshit where they have to talk to a sales rep and then they have to upsell you and try to sell you for like 50K a month or whatever. This is such bullshit. Oh my God. This is the biggest pile of bullshit ever. I can't believe this. Screw you, Plaid. Yep. So that whole time, all those weeks spent designing, developing, trying to make this app, all for nothing. And that's why I'm making this video right now. This is to all the people that can actually get the production key. If you can get the production key, you have my permission, use my app, make your apps in the App Store, go crazy and have fun and save some money. Peace.